I wondered if you could tell me about a past life or a past lives that are most influencing me or most relevant right now.
Sure, you have a few in ancient Greece. This has to do with a life of very powerful philosophical inquiry.
I
You're
think
familiar with the Pythagorean Mystery schools?
a little bit.
Yes. Well, let's just say you're connected to that. You were an initiate. So, this is where your sense of deep inquiry comes from in terms of your looking back to the past for answers about the future. The Pythagorean mystery school was very strict, very disciplined. And there oftentimes was a sense that many initiates had that they really needed to retreat from the world. They needed to do things very differently than how the rest of society did. And well, some of that conditioning has carried over to this lifetime because both lifetimes exist right here, right now. In addition to this, there are also certain lifetimes that you have that involve alchemy. Are you familiar with the alchemical peak that occurred within Prague?
Yeah, somewhat.
This is another lifetime that you have of very dedicated chemical and alchemical studying. This is where you blended your understanding of the earth elements, astrology, and chemical science all together, which allowed for you to create different types of elixirs and different types of psychotropic magical compounds. These are two that are more relevant to the Western world. There are others that we can get into. And of course, there are the ones that are not so terrestrial as well.
Could you share with me one of the non-terrestrial ones?
Sure, you're familiar with the system of Sirius?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there is a extra dimensional reality anchored into the star of Sirius. And within this reality, different elders from the Sirius star worlds gather together and they broadcast higher understandings, higher messages, higher insights to a variety of different worlds, Earth being one of them. And should the beings who receive these messages follow them, they will end up building an energetic stairway into the star of Sirius. The star of Sirius contains within it a direct portal to what you would call the source consciousness. Not all stars possess this. Sirius, however, does. So, your consciousness, whilst you existed in Sirius, was assisting other worlds in building that stairway energetically to Sirius so they could project into the source themselves. And this is one of the major themes that your soul explored as a being of Sirius.
Okay. I'm not sure what to make of that now. How do I, in my life now, how do I work with this?
Well, have you ever gazed upon the star of Sirius?
I have.
Have you ever taken its energy in?
No.
Well, we would advise doing so. There's many ways to do this. What we would advise is a very simple push-pull method. With your palms facing down by the waist, inhale and pull the palms up, float the palms up, and breathe golden light from the earth up. As the hands become shoulder level, with the star of Sirius positioned before you, push your hands forward and push your consciousness forward into the star of Sirius. Pull its blue light back into you as you pull the hands back, and then once more, press the hands down, palms facing down, pushing the energy down to the earth. Repeat the process. Float the palms up, push to Sirius, pull the palms back, push down to the earth. Very basic. Does that make sense?
It does.
This is something that will link you to the star. After you've done about 18 reps, speak to the star like you'd speak to a friend. Ask it to guide you. Ask it to assist you in remembering your other lifetimes. Ask it to assist you in knowing your purpose, for it will guide you, for it knows you, and there is a you within that extra dimensional space. that is the star.
Okay.
You will be talking to yourself when you do this.
I believe I've heard that our sun is connected with Sirius as
Yes, think of the sun as the higher self of your planet. Sirius in that way is the higher spirit of your planet, the higher self of your planet's higher self.
in our reality here. Sirius is sort of the highest celestial body.
It is one of them. It's not the only one. Your planet's North Star is also one of the major governing celestial bodies.
Okay.
Both are useful, both have their own lineages of consciousness and their own extra dimensional beings that reside within them. The agendas of these beings are very similar, although there are some slight differences in how they unfold and in terms of different values that the different sects and lineages possess, but ultimately they are quite unified. They're just different paths up the mountain, so to say.